Smoke poured out of the 25th floor like a monster's breath, swallowing everything in its path. Screams echoed down the lobby of the gleaming Valente Tower as fire alarms wailed and red lights flashed like warning hearts. Amid the chaos, a man in a torn work uniform, his name tag barely hanging on, burst through the crowd. His name was Eli Turner, a single father, maintenance worker, and the last man anyone expected to become a hero that day. But destiny never asks for permission. "Someone's still inside," a woman shouted, her voice cracking. "It's the CEO's daughter, she's trapped in the elevator." Eli didn't think. He just ran. The elevator shaft was wrapped in smoke, metal screeching under the weight of heat. He could barely see through the haze, but he could hear her, a faint, terrified voice calling out for help. "Please. Help me." Without gloves, without gear, he pried the doors open. Flames licked his skin as he fought the heat, his hands blistering instantly. Pain shot through him, white-hot and unbearable, but he didn't stop. He saw the girl, Clara Valente, the CEO's only child, curled up in the corner of the elevator, tears mixing with soot. "Come on, sweetheart," he gasped, reaching in. "We're getting out." The metal burned him. He screamed, his palm sizzling against the scorching doorframe, but he pulled her out anyway, shielding her body with his own as the elevator cable snapped behind them. A deafening crash shook the floor as fire swallowed the shaft whole. When firefighters finally reached them, Eli was unconscious. His hands were charred, his uniform soaked in blood and smoke. But the little girl, she was alive. Days later, Eli woke up in a hospital bed, his hands wrapped in thick white bandages. The first thing he thought of wasn't himself, it was his little daughter, Maya, waiting at home. She was only 6, the light of his world. But now, with both hands burned, he couldn't work. Couldn't hold her. Couldn't even promise her dinner that night. That's when the hospital door opened, and in walked Sofia Valente, CEO of Valente Corporation, a woman known for her cold precision and zero emotion. The woman whose child he'd saved. "Mr. Turner," she said quietly. "You saved my daughter's life." Eli nodded, struggling to sit up. "Just did what anyone would." But she shook her head. "No. No one else did." For the first time, her icy composure cracked. Her eyes glistened. "You risked everything, for a stranger." He gave a tired smile. "That's what fathers do." She looked at him for a long moment, and then, as if she'd already made a decision, said softly, "Then let me do something for yours." Days turned into weeks. Sophia paid all his hospital bills. She even arranged for physical therapy, something he could never afford. Still, Eli felt uneasy. He didn't like charity. He wanted to work, to earn it. One afternoon, he was sitting with Maya in the hospital garden when Sophia appeared again. Clara, now healed and bright-eyed, ran to hug Eli's legs. "You saved me, Mr. Eli," she said, her little voice bursting with joy. Sophia watched the moment, her heart softening. Then she turned to him and said, "I have a proposal." He raised an eyebrow. "Proposal?" She smiled faintly. "I need someone I can trust to oversee safety at Valente Tower. Someone who knows every inch of it. The position comes with benefits, housing, and full salary." Eli blinked, stunned. "You're offering me a job?" "No," she said softly. "I'm offering you a new life." Eli's throat tightened. He looked at Maya, who was staring up at him with wide, hopeful eyes. He remembered the nights they'd eaten cereal for dinner, the months he'd begged for extra shifts just to pay rent. "Why me?" he whispered. Sophia's gaze held steady. "Because good men like you don't just save lives, they remind the rest of us what having one is worth." Tears burned his eyes. He took a shaky breath, emotion rising like a wave. "Thank you," he said hoarsely. for giving my daughter a chance." Sophia smiled softly. "You gave mine her life back." As the sun set behind them, Clara and Maya played together in the garden, two little girls laughing like the world had never been cruel. And in that moment, Eli realized something: sometimes heroes don't wear capes, sometimes they wear scars.